Who was the boss when you started there? It wasn't Eric, correct?
No, I survived 5 bosses, bro. Dusty Rhodes hired me. So he was my first boss. And then it was, Rick Flair a little bit and Sullivan. And then it was like an office guy for a while, something
Kip
Fry.
Fry? Kip Fry.
Fry. And then it was if I went to Cowboy Bill Watts, and then from there to Eric.
How did you get along with Bill Watts?
Hated my guts.
I would, yeah.
The only reason
like a Bill Watts guy.
I'm not a Dr. Death. Steve Williams was a Cowboy Bill Watts guy. Right. And I love Dr. Death, but that's complete opposite worlds. He was a true badass. I'm a badass on TV. And but he's in the trenches, strike a match on his chin, man. And I was a kid, so I just wasn't in any category of a Dr. Death Steve Williams. And the only reason I survived Cowboy Bill Watts was because I was best friends with his son. Me and Eric Watts were best friends during that run, and we're still great friends, but we were best friends during that. So, he didn't like me at all, but I survived because of Eric. And then I got over during that time too. And then Eric came in, and Eric wasn't a big fan of mine either. But we ended up being great friends. And I got a lot of heat for just my age. They automatically put me in another category. And then once they got to talk to me for a few minutes, they were like, wait a minute, this kid's pretty cool. So it took a little bit to get over with them. But once it stuck, it stuck.
You told me a hilarious story that they booked you to die in a plane crash before. You told me that story in Stockholm. What other WCW ideas? I mean, like they had the 60 ring. Like, what's worse than a regular battle royal? Let's have 60 guys in a battle royal. Battle ball. Spin the wheel, make the deal. Terrible. They had some terrible WCW ideas. Can you think of anything else they've ever proposed to you that was just like, oh my gosh, this is the most WCW thing I've ever heard?
No, that was some of the, keep in mind after that, the NWO stuff was just off the chain great, but they had some horrible stuff, man, come out, and that's what kept us mediocre. We had all the money in the world with Turner, and we had the talent too. We had all the guys before Vince had them. He just took them from us and made them stars. But like Stone Cold, he's Stunning Steve with us. He was always injured. I mean, he was a great talent, but for us, just ironically, he was hurt a lot. And so we got rid of him, and then he goes up there and becomes Stone Cold, So, WCW had a lot of good stuff, but we just had a lot of money. And sometimes having money is not the best thing to do in wrestling. And so, but once we learned what to do with the money, then we became a talent place,